Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Hello, good Sunday evening, folks. Thank you for closing out your weekend with our crew. I'm Dustin Klemann. An adult film star who alleges she had an affair with President Trump and was paid hush money is telling her story for the first time. She sat down with 60 Minutes contributor Anderson Cooper for a two-part interview that aired tonight. CBS News' Wendy Gillette reports from New York on what she said.
Porn star Stormy Daniels is opening up about the relationship she said she had with President Trump.
He knows I'm telling the truth.
Her real name is Stephanie Clifford. She says she met Mr. Trump at a Lake Tahoe celebrity golf tournament in 2006, and the two agreed to have dinner in his hotel suite. After dinner, she says she went to the bathroom, and when she came out, he was sitting on the bed.
I just felt like maybe it was sort of, I had it coming for making a bad decision for going to someone's room alone. And I just heard the voice in my head, well, you put yourself in a bad situation and bad things happen, so you deserve this.
And you had sex with him?
Yes.
5 years later, Clifford says she sold her story to a magazine for $15,000. It never ran. Two employees of the magazine told 60 Minutes it was because Mr. Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, threatened to sue. Clifford was never paid. A few weeks later, she says she was confronted in a parking lot.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, leave Trump alone, forget the story. And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, a beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom.
A friend of President Trump says he spoke to him about the allegations, saying this Sunday morning,
he said he thought that much of the Stormy Daniels stuff was a political hoax. Again, those were his words.
Cohen has threatened to sue Clifford for $20 million for violating a non-disclosure agreement she signed 11 days before the election, granting her $130,000 paid by Cohen. Clifford's attorney is seeking to have the agreement nullified because President Trump did not sign it. The White House declined to comment. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Complaints have been made to the Justice Department and the Federal Election Commission about Cohen's payment, claiming it constitutes an illegal campaign contribution. Cohen maintains he paid the money himself. Here in Billings, if you get pulled over, you may see an additional charge to your ticket. City Council will discuss tomorrow night adding a $5 surcharge to all citations and complaints to create a technology fund. It would purchase, license, maintain, and repair an electronic citation system for the Billings Police Department. Currently, all officers handwrite driver, vehicle, and offense information onto a citation. Municipal court processes an average of 16,000 charges annually. The police department anticipates the surcharge will generate $50,000 to $80,000 per year, which will generate enough revenue to outfit up to 12 cars per year. Well, the very latest tomorrow night at 10. Billings leaders will also meet Wednesday to discuss the next steps to transforming downtown with the One Big Sky District development project. After 18 months of what originally was planned as a skyscraper, the project has morphed into districts. The Big Sky Economic Development Downtown Billings Partnership, the Billings Chamber of Commerce, and City of Billings will conduct the meeting, providing an update and what's next. The meeting will also include an overview of the scope and the work for Phase 2 and 3, and also an opportunity to share important considerations, also for time for the public to comment. It will be held at the First Interstate Bank Operations Center on Wednesday at 4 p.m. The Environmental Protection Agency proposes repealing the Clean Power Plan. It's a program designed to reduce carbon dioxide and move toward renewable energy. An environmental group here in Billings held a hearing today so it can bring the public comment to the EPA this week. Northern Plains Resource Council met to record testimony and give information about the plan. An executive order directs the EPA to determine whether or not the plan exceeds the bounds of its authority. According to the Federal Register, emission standards cannot be met using retrofit technology, but only through gas-fired units or renewable generation. The EPA wants to repeal the plan. However, Northern Plains Resource Council wants to keep it.
The Clean Power Plan is not perfect, but I'd want to see, nor is it complete, but I would want to see it implemented, and then we continue to build and improve on it over time. But it's a start. It's one that's ready to go.
This is a challenge we see that we can rise to, and speaking as an architect, the building industry is ready to help make our buildings more energy efficient, make use of renewable energy. We can rise to this challenge.
The EPA listening session in Gillette is Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. EPA will also accept comment on its proposal to repeal the Clean Power Plan until April 26th. Let's go to the weather scene now. Connor Pregitzer joining us to talk about what's ahead. If you haven't met him, because you're just joining us on Sunday and didn't join us yesterday, let's say hello. Connor,
happy to meet
the
everybody.
Canadian Kane joining us, and you're happy to be here. We're happy to have you.
Oh, good, I'm glad.
And
it's better than the other way around.
That's right. It's like, just get out, get out. We're talking about what's ahead on weather, and it's actually clearing up for the start of the week, but mid and to the end, it kind of changes.
Yes,
here.
I think that's a good way to.
Okay.
That's a good way to look at it. If we take a look outside right now with our iCam that's up on the First Interstate Bank, we got 34 degrees out there. Wind chill making it feel a little bit more like 27. That's a cool north wind there. The other thing I would like to note about this is that pressure, it's rising, and that should continue into the day tomorrow. As we go throughout the course of the day, that should help push that low pressure system away and give us some clearer skies for late tomorrow and heading into Tuesday. Back to you, Dustin.
Thank you very much, Connor. We'll check back in. Navigating young adulthood can be hard enough, but one Billings woman started her 20s with a cancer diagnosis. Q2's Asia Gore sat down with the young nurse who was sharing her story to motivate other women to get a checkup.
21-year-old Crystal West loves her job helping patients as a certified nurse assistant.
That's a huge part of me. That's what I do. I take care of people, make sure they're comfortable, or do what I can to help them when they're not feeling well.
She began working at Billings Clinic in 2014 at the age of 18 when her mom got sick.
I took it as my responsibility to take care of my mom, like make sure everything was going to be okay with her first of all, and then to somehow financially help.
Through her work at the hospital, West met her best friend, Megan Malin, a fellow nurse.
Kind of see her like a little sister I never had.
Given the 10-year age gap, Malin says she's inclined to give West advice. One piece of advice changed West's life forever.
She was 21, and I would normally say 18 would be a good time to start pap smears, so I already felt like she was a little bit past when she should have gone.
It's an uncomfortable thing. Like, who wants to go have that looked at? And I mean, I wasn't sexually active. Like, I had no risk factors that I thought.
But after that first visit with a gynecologist, the news sent her life into a tailspin.
I was trying to figure out any hole in this entire, story that it could be wrong. I was shocked and I didn't want to believe it. And I was trying to figure out, how on earth, what did I do to make this happen?
West was diagnosed with cervical cancer in September. She began radiation treatment, but in February, more bad news. The cancer has spread to her lungs.
As a 21-year-old, who has to go through that? My 20 young and dumb decisions are, I shouldn't have dated that guy, or I shouldn't have drank that much. It could be the difference between living and dying, her 21-year-old decisions.
Life, as these friends knew it, has changed in an unthinkable way. But somehow, just hours after receiving her latest round of chemo, West sits down for this interview with a smile on her face.
I've been drawing a lot from people around me right now, especially Megan and her family and my family. Anywhere I can find perspectives or advice or anything calming at all, I'm trying to pull from that.
Not every day is easy, but even with stage 4 cancer, West is drawn to her floor at the hospital.
One of the top 2 CNAs we have on the floor, even with her not feeling the best. She's very kind and very caring.
If I walk into a room and a patient saying, I just feel really foggy today. And before I may have been I don't really understand what that means, but I've experienced it now. Or just this feeling that I have this news and I can't change it. And I know that we have patients all the time that get this news or that are going through something that they can't control.
You do it.
Without Malin's advice, West may not be here today. She can't change her diagnosis, but West is sharing her story to give other young women a fighting chance. In Billings, I'm Asia Gore, MTN News.
Powerful story there. Thank you very much, Asia. Tomorrow's Community Monday at Hooligans in downtown Billings will benefit West to help her with medical bills. She also has a GoFundMe that you can help to by clicking this story right now on our website, ktvq.com. Coming up next on the Q2 10 o'clock news Sunday edition, the Department of Veteran Affairs, the secretary may be fired this week. We'll have more when we return. Plus a story of Montana Ag in the classroom providing curriculum for the next generation of farmers and ranchers. And later in sports, we'll take you to last night's Montana Football Hall of Fame ceremony and hear some of the several inductees.